I protect, I attack, but most importantly, I am back. Now we are talking about today's subject, Windows 7. If you don't know what is Windows 7, it is released in October 2009, known for its aero transparency, iconic startup sounds, and legendary stability. Windows 7 quickly became one of Microsoft's most loved operating systems. Even after its support ended in January 2020, many users still remember it for its simplicity, performance, and that nostalgic user interface we are bringing back today. In this video, I am transforming the modern Windows 11 system to Windows 7 step by step without using existing transformation packs. So, without any further ado, let's get the transformation started! Now let's create the custom transformation pack folder, because in this video I am not using the existing transformation packs to transform Windows 11 to Windows 7. There we go. I have downloaded Windows 7 sounds, wallpapers, and cursors. This needs to be changed. Instead, let's search it separately. And there is a no WAV file.
Later.
Let's move this from here to here. Replace. We got all 31 wallpapers. Let's place all of these files to start the transformation.
Much later.
I replaced the cursor with Windows 7 style. Up next is sounds. All I need is IO bit unlocker. Wait. But still it works. There we go. After replacing the media file, the sounds will not work initially, but after replacing them manually using control panel, it will work. Let's set one of them as a desktop background. Voila! Windows 7 background in Windows 11. Setting every single icon one by one will take a lot of time. I will find the tool and the icon pack to set these icons automatically. I am not downloading that advertisement.
Much later.
It says the application was unable to start correctly, but don't worry, oh my god. We have no icons. No icons. Now let's create a folder called Apps and Games and move 5 zip files from here to here.
Many minutes later.
Now let's move Windows 7 games for Windows 11, 10 and 8 to Apps and Games.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
This will restore the files backed up by 7TSP's first run. Yes. There we go.
1 restart later.
The system restored. Okay, who needs this flat and minimal Windows 7 icon? This icon should be glossy and skeuomorphic, not entirely flat. I hope this tutorial will fix anything.
Later.
There we go.
A few inches later.
After installing ExplorerPatcher, the taskbar is now Windows 10, but I am applying some tweaks and settings in ExplorerPatcher. I have placed some DLLs from Windows 7 ISO file to change icons on Windows 7 from flat UI to glossy and skeuomorphic ones, but I don't think it will fix the issue.
A few minutes later.
There we go. We have entered the ExplorerPatcher settings. So many configurations later.
Would you please stop imitating me, Arson Tech?
Okay, I'm leaving. There we go. Let's install some apps and games and remove some bloatware.
A few inches later.
Let's remove other bloats. We are planning to remove 48 bloatware, while 21 of them will remain unchanged for security reasons, otherwise the PC will not work. Bloatbox successfully removed this bloatware, except Desktop App Installer and Calling Shell App. Here is what the start menu will look like without bloats. Which is great. Now let's install the original versions of it. Let me know in the comments if you have played this nostalgic game. This game is like a mini job simulator to make cakes. That is the game, by the way. Oh, who remembers these animations in here? There we go. Windows Movie Maker is the best. The entire virtual machine has been deploted and some legacy apps that is used in Windows 7 is installed here. Here is one thing that I should install next is Gadget Pack.
Much later.
I like Gadget Pack, but some of these gadgets are Windows 11 styled, which doesn't fit in this transformation.
Later.
There we go, a working RSS feed gadget. I use this 8 gadget pack version because its gadgets design are similar to Windows 7's gadgets. All I need is a custom skin to apply Windows 7 Start menu via OpenShell. That is too large. It's perfect. I just did some start menu settings on OpenShell and exported these settings. Let's try installing HackBGRT and test it before changing the boot logo. Before continuing this, I would like to give you a warning that if you mess up the installation, it can break your system because this tool modifies your UEFI boot logo. If you misuse this tool, your PC will be cooked. It isn't recommended to use HackBGRT on physical PCs unless you fully understand what you're doing or you're following the tutorial. I tried installing HackBGRT on my 2070 laptop to change my boot logo. But instead of removing it from a setup, I tried deleting the boot drive. I misused that tool back then. And my 2070 laptop became unbootable and bricked until reinstallation with no data left. But right now my 2070 laptop is working fine, so don't worry. Use HackBGRT at your own risk if you want to change the boot logo. In this video it's being demonstrated in a virtual machine only. Without any further ado, let's get back to the video. There we go. It says if you mess up the installation, your system may become unbootable. So be careful when you install HackBGRT.
Much later.
I tried installing HackBGRT on my virtual machine and the entire boot loop is very big and it loads absolutely slow. I don't recommend you using HackBGRT for safety.
A few moments later.
There we go. It boots as expected after safely removing HackBGRT.
Many tweaks and settings later.
Open with, choose another app, Windows Photo Viewer, and always. There we go. Let's export these tweaks to a file. Tweaks exported, there we go. Okay, there we go. There we go. It is launched as expected. Now let's install Legacy Windows Media Player. Windows Media Player has been installed. Let's restart this to apply changes in Winaero Tweaker. Finally, some of these tweaks are applied after restart. I got this from DWMBlurGlass.
A few moments later.
Please reboot Windows 7 for the changes to take full effect. Yes. I would like to reboot to see the changes.
One restart later.
And there we go! Finally, the glossy and skeuomorphic icons are back, replacing the flat Windows 7 ones. Failed to load resource. Error blocked by client. Oh my god. Okay. Here are the configs. Yeah, this is what I want.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
There we go. I have replaced cursors to Windows 7 ones to prevent Windows to set back to default cursor.
Many minutes later.
Yeah, but I cannot download CustomizerGod.
One eternity later.
I hope I can download WindowBlinds for free. $30? That's a week of groceries. For a single theme changing app? You know what? I'm not paying for something I will use once. Time to find a better alternative. Any suggestions?
Get a free trial if you want to use WindowBlinds.
No, viewer 1, a free trial is not a permanent solution. Registering an email for a free trial to change themes? Ah, come on!
Why?
Imagine trying to open a door and hitting a transparent wall that demands your email. That's a paywall.
Use a temporary email and register them.
I don't do shady shortcuts around here. Sorry, WindowBlinds, I'm gonna find something free and permanent.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Still doesn't found, oh my.
1 minute 37 seconds later.
Alternate reality where Windows 7 shell survived. That is what I More like alternate reality, where paywalls are ethical and not greedy. Are you serious right now, bruh? What if you wanted to transform Windows 11 to Windows 7 quickly, but StartAllBack said, only for $4.99. If you combine two paywalls together, that's $35. That is literally worth another grocery trip. That's why I'm doing it manually.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
It changes the wallpaper to Windows 7.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
Much later.
I don't even know why MicaForEveryone failed to install.
Later.
The Flip 3D effect is still here. Even though this effect is from Windows Vista, I still like it. This registry trick will restore the Windows 7 balloon notifications.
A few moments later.
I just forgot to save the DWMBlurGlass settings. There we go, we have transparent and glossy window design. Let's manage some Windows features. I set up some Windows features like this. Some of these bloated ones are unchecked.
A few minutes later.
There we go. Windows completed the requested changes, but I will restart it later.
One restart later.
I have later downloaded Classic Volume Control to replace the modern Windows 11 volume control to Windows 7 ones. Here's what the volume control looks like after installing it. Here are some user profile pictures from Windows 7, but make sure your Windows 11 is active to set this.
The next day.
I have downloaded MicaForEveryone on this PC and I have moved that to here. MicaForEveryone is started.
Many tweaks and settings later.
A few moments later.
Welp, I guess I broke and ruined the taskbar design. If I set the taskbar design in TranslucentTB to clear, it is transparent, but if I set to acrylic, it's still opaque.
Many internet reconnections later.
Command prompt.
Bruh.
Custom blur works only. Now the CMD looks as expected.
Many internet reconnections later.
Again the same MySQL error, oh my god. So many configurations later.
Would you please stop imitating me, Arsentech?
Okay, I'm leaving. This is what I want. I have made the taskbar slightly similar to Windows 7. That taskbar design is perfect. The disk size is 40 megabytes, which is great. In conclusion, I tried to transform Windows 11 to Windows 7 and here is the result. This transformation is close to Windows 7. HackBGRT in this transformation doesn't work because it almost bricked the virtual machine. The accuracy of this transformation and the real Windows 7 is in between 95 and 98% because of limitations like paywalls and others. That is it, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like, share this video and comment, and don't forget to join my Patreon page. Stay safe and have a nice day.